Njala, Njala, HR, human resources. You guys that are cutting our salaries, not bad at all, not bad. Are overworked and underpaid, unfortunately. Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to our channel. I am Woven, and on this channel, we talk all things lifestyle, travel, finance, and sometimes tradition. And on today's video, we are continuing with our careers and earnings in Namibia. Again, a very big shout out to everybody that took time to detail their careers, to share their journey and also their earnings. Thank you so much. Right? It is because of you that this series is possible. Now, I still need to do quite a bit in terms of careers and earnings, and it will be really great to have people in the mechanical engineering space, right? I would still like to see more TVET. I would still like to see more health and social services, education. What am I forgetting? Right, here's my email address. It's woven at outlook.com. Please feel free to share so that we can impact a bigger audience. Now, you can blurt out your details for confidentiality, but I also just will go over your information in case you missed something so that I can erase it. Right. Now, guys, if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do consider clicking the subscribe button and becoming a part of our beautiful and growing family. On today, we are sharing my flowers. So here goes. Hi, Woven. I met you 3 times, I believe. You work with my mom. I am almost certain, oh no, Oka Thailander, I think. Oka Thailand's brother. You were so nice during every single encounter. I just wanted to say I appreciate the energy. Also, as a learner who's about to go to uni, this series has been beyond helpful with narrowing down my options as to what I want to study. Thank you so much. You're definitely Gen Z approved. Thank you so much. I am almost certain who the specific individual is, right? Then another one, here goes. They are saying, oh, and this is on our finance segment. In fact, I need to do one of those in our next video because I think we've done quite a bit of this. So, hi, Owen, kindly get your flowers. You're doing a great job. Thank you. I managed to save 200,000 just because of your financial advice, and you're really changing our spending lifestyle from worse to better and looking forward to being good spenders. This is, guys, this is what gives me fulfillment, right? At the beginning of the year, I said, I want us to deconstruct, not deconstruct, but normalize having financial conversations around our dinner tables, if there are any, in our circles, as friends, at work, just so that we get a better financial understanding, but also to improve our financial habits, right? Ultimately to build wealth. So it's so good that I'm seeing that someone is able to save 200,000 because of, well, it's not financial advice I give, it is literacy. And they're changing their spending lifestyle and they're looking forward to being good spenders. So thank you so much. Please let me know, guys, how this series or how these videos have been of impact in your life. Now, today we are looking at Njala, HR, human resources, human capital, right? I got in quite a few government, private, so I'm going to share that. The very first one, and then we also got in media and communications. So that very sweet individual was like, hi, when you do media and comms, I would like to partake. And I was like, please send through. And I looked at her story and I'm just like, I'm glad I can actually get to share this. So thank you once again. So let's get right into it. Njala, these are the people that know everybody's salary. But guys, they're not responsible for determining your salaries. They actually get the various packages from the various departments, but they assist, right, in benchmarking and. So let us see what it is that they end, that they treat us the way they treat us. Okay, so first up, this individual shared quite a bit of their journey. So thank you for that. It just gives us a picture. They were in government and then they moved to private sector. So they are a human resource practitioner. So they have a Bachelor of Administration in HR, NQA level 8. Then they have an MBA in HR, and then they have NQA level 9, and then they have a postgraduate diploma in alternative labor dispute resolutions, which is level 8. Then they first shared this is an HR practitioner in the government, and that is the highest notch salary. Please delete my account details, okay? I will do that. Then they also further indicated HR practitioners in the government are overworked and underpaid, unfortunately, right? Just in case you are looking to go into that space. So let us look at what are the earnings of an HR practitioner in government, which is the highest notch or salary. Right here we have ons hat. Oh, okay. Okay. Human resource practitioner, not bad at all. Not bad. Okay, not bad. I ain't complaining. Okay, but the fact that it's not top, like highest scale. Yeah, so human resource practitioner, this is a GO, so it's a grade 0242, right? They have a housing subsidy of 5,605 Namibian dollars. Njala, HR, you guys that are cutting our salaries. No, HR is not responsible for cutting your salaries, guys. Please note this. They are not responsible for cutting your salaries or increasing your salaries. Okay? Your line manager, your department head, or whatever is usually first line of conduct when it comes to salaries and negotiations. Right? And then we have a service bonus. Oh, okay. Oh, this must probably be their birthday month. Okay, so service bonus is 23,785. Then you have a basic salary of 23,785 in transport. So if we take out the housing, if we take out the service bonus, this brings us to 23, 28, 29. This is about 29, about 30,000, right, in the government. And then we look at deductions. They've got a metropolitan of 244. Then they have FMB loans of 2,598. Another metropolitan of 500. Post-fund loan of 2,605. Then they have their medical aid of 240. GIPF government, you stay goated for the cost of your medical aid. And then we have Standard Bank Ventuk of 8,900. Then we have Social Sec 99. And then GIPF, we have 1,664. That is the total contribution to pension fund. It's a defined benefit for the government employees, so you can't change that. You can't structure it. Then their tax for this month was 10,254. So in total, their deductions was 27,106. I know I said not bad at first, but when I saw the 54,000, which is their gross, I was like, not bad. And 54,000 is really a decent amount of money or decent income. But now I'm looking at the service bonus. So then their net pay was 26,944. So it would be interesting to see what an HR practitioner, why am I rocking, what an HR practitioner earns without the service bonus. So if you are, please, here is my email address. Let's get chatting. And then they said, you know what? I'm going to see greener pastures. So then they moved to private, and here is what they currently earn. Wow. There's a big, very significant, like a very big difference, right? Because I'm looking at the net pay here. So if we look at their gross, they've got a basic salary of 23,000, which is plus minus the same as the government. But now here, housing, they've got a 3,833, and then taxable parts. So this is probably cost to company. I need to blurt out the employer details. Then they have a 7,666. So their total earnings in the new role as an HR practitioner is 34,500 Namibian dollars. Okay, now let's look at the deductions. So they've got tax coming in at 5,114. The taxman will get their due. Social Security 99, and then we have Orion. So this is their contribution to the pension fund. Now again, if I look at the contribution of 1,150 versus 34,500, there's a conversation to be had there. So again, if you are retiring or if you are resigning and you've got a pension savings, feel free to reach out to me. Here is my email address so that we can have a look at what are your plans and possibly how could we invest those funds optimally for you, right? So let us look at their net pay. This individual's net pay is 28,236 Namibian dollars. Now, if you look at the difference, there's actually a difference in terms of the salary for the government role. It was 26,944. Oh, I see. The difference here is there is an FMB loan of 2.5, there's another post fund loan of 2.6, and then there is about 8,900 coming out. Very big difference. So that is in essence what you would get in HR from government to private. Now, let us look at another HR practitioner. And they gave also quite a bit of detail in terms of what their career started off as, what they do, what they earn. So, hi, Owen, I'm a 27-year-old professional in HR, young lady. And although my current salary isn't where I would like it to be, I find my journey interesting and one that I would like to share. Thank you. I currently only have a diploma. I've done a couple of short courses here and there, and now I'm in the final year of my bachelor's degree. But what has really propelled my career to where it is now is the fact that I've consistently worked on cultivating my understanding by finding right mentorship. I cannot stress that enough. Mentorship is very important, guys. And again, I do not have capacity to take on any more individual mentees, hence us having this series. But pay for it if you must, right? Because it's quite beneficial. People that can guide me and I can learn from, reading, a lot of reading and borderline philosophical level of understanding the purpose of my work and the role in the grander scheme of things. Enlightened much. But I started off as an intern and I earned about 15 to 16 Namibian dollars per hour. Luckily, there was a vacant position and I was permanently appointed a year, 6 months later into a junior role, and the starting salary was 7,500. Can you see? 15 to 16 Namibian dollars an hour. And you do that for a year and 6 months, and then and again, perseverance pays off. They then got appointed into a junior role of 7,500. Right? Although it's HR, it is a specialist field, so qualifications alone won't suffice. So I made sure I did a couple of short courses specific to my field that would place me in a better position for consideration when something comes up. You see, you always need to try and put yourself in a position where you're marketable, right? Where you can possibly have an advantage over the next candidate, either through short courses, either through additional part-time work, you know. So I made sure I did a couple of short courses specific to my field that would place me in a better position, right? 2 years and 6 months later, I was offered the position of head of department of that specialist department and earned 21,000. This was at the age of 23. Okay, makes sense. But also, this is a very serious title, head of department. You guys, eh? And especially when it's nice that there's a title to it, but especially as you move up, chances are you move to a better paying job, a better role, but because of the title, you almost look like you're going back. All right, so these titles are good, but we just need to watch out for it. But the fact that they were 23, at 23, I think I was telling my mom I need to take a gap year. So well done, right? After another 2 years, I applied for a junior position in a different town. This is a determined individual. I didn't care that the position was junior because the salary was higher. Case in point, what I just said. And I would have a better opportunity to further cultivate my craft, hence the reason for me leaving. It it became a bit stagnant, and I knew that I had more development to do if I wanted to reach the highest I know I can. At the second employer, I started off with 34,000, but the environment wasn't for me, so I left again. Just to pause on that, right? Can you see that one head of department, yes, but they also realize they've become stagnant because at 23 and I'm HOD already. Yes, it's possible, but it just chances are you are then not in a big enough environment or the responsibility is not as big, right? So then they moved on and they then got to 34,000. What I'm picking up is this individual is already at the level of the previous individual that has a master's, postgrad, another degree, like 3, 4 qualifications. And then working environment wasn't for me, so they left. Long story short, I now earn what is reflected on my payslip. Next year, I graduate. So even at 34,000, they had not graduated yet. However, they did quite a bit of work and they have a lot of years in terms of working experience. Right, long story short, they graduate next year, and after that, the first chapter of my career will begin. I think you have begun already. You have done really, really well. The fact that at the age of 23, you decided I'm going to look for a job with no degree, with no qualification. You got into it, you got promotions, you got out, got even a better job, and then they indicated that the rest I consider as a prologue. Hard work sometimes does pay off. It allows you to prepare for the opportunities that may come your way. That is so true, guys. Right? Sometimes you look like you're working in vain, but often it's just preparation for that opportunity, right? So you need to be prepared for when the opportunity comes so that you actually are fit to take it up. The moral here is even though a lot of value is placed on having a degree, and it certainly makes things easier when you're being considered for a position, and that it does. But people with a good eye for talent can easily discern those with potential in the right level of aptitude. So if you wait for your degree to start writing the chapters of your life, you may be waiting a bit longer to publish it. So ask yourself, what can you do for yourself now to better position yourself later? Right? And I couldn't agree more. If you can, right, and if you're a focused individual, especially in your third, fourth year, try and see if you can actually even get a part-time job that already starts getting you your years of experience so that when you apply for certain roles and they're asking for 2, 3 years experience, at least you have 1.5 year. You're not like the next student that's going to be fresh out of uni, right? But still, education is very important. Go on and get your degree. Now, she did indicate here that the environment wasn't for her. Guys, I will tell you about a working environment of mine one day, right? Just to set the scene and the reality on the ground. Then she continues to write a bit more. I don't know where I put that bit, but I can't find it, right? So, as you can see, this individual is only in the final year of the degree, but they earn more or less the same as the previous person. Now let's look at their earnings. How much is it that they earn? Basic salary comes in at 36,000. That is the gross total for the previous candidate. And then they have a housing allowance of 6,000, then they have a subsidy of 590 and transport allowance of 829 Namibian dollars. Head office, and then let's look at their deductions. They've got their medical aid. This specific medical aid is 2,696 Namibian dollars. Then they have parking deduction. As an employer, I think the least you can do is give me parking. Then you've got pension of 3,150, I think fairly okay. Social Security, and then the taxman comes to their rescue. They are at 7,409 Namibian dollars. So the net pay is 29,958,000. And this specific individual, a lot of this I'm usually attributing to their years of experience because they started really, really early. And they gained the experience, which then obviously afforded them this opportunity. And from here, it's only upwards, right? Because then they get their degree, they have the years of experience, and yeah, net pay basically 30,000. Again, they're part of the 1%, almost part of the 1%. So that is Njala HR, if you're looking at pursuing this line of career. So let us look at media and communication. So this individual has a basic salary of, and I love the fact that she shared this because you don't often, the media comms is not like your, it's not one of those where your parents, at least, where your parents would be like, no, study media and comms in Namibia. And you would also often find that the earnings in this specific career line, or at least what I would get from people, they're not remunerated really well. But it was so good, or it's so good to see what this specific individual is earning. And again, really just, I don't know if it's demystifying the stereotypes or that is the truth, and she just happened to get a good opportunity. But here it is. So she got employed in 2023 mid. So they have a basic salary of 25,765. Did they say they work for a newspaper or radio company? And they have then their benefits, which is pension fund of 2,061 and social security of 99. Their tax, they come in at 4,066 Namibian dollars. The total deductions 6,226, and their net pay, you know, I really am glad to see that people in the media space are being remunerated like this. Obviously, in this specific role as a media officer, then her take home is 19,538 Namibian dollars. No, I'm actually really proud of this individual. The fact that, let's see, how old are they? I think they shared their age at some point, right? They graduated in 2024, but they did take up odd jobs, and they got their job in 2023. So they are probably, just by, they're probably what, 25, 26 at most, if not even 24, right? So they're quite young. So well done in just one, getting into the system early on so that you rake up your years of experience, and then just securing your employment. That is essentially it, guys, in the Njala, in the HR space, in the media and communications. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you've made it this far, please do consider subscribing to our channel. From me, Woven, I will see you guys next time.